going to introduce our next presenter who actually traveled the farthest to get here. She's joining us all the way from India, where she's a business teacher at the Galaxy Education System. In 2011, she was the ISTE Educator of the Year, and this year she won a BAMI Award. So today she's going to share how she used Edmodo successfully as a collaboration tool for project-based learning. Please welcome Bijal Damani to the stage.
Hello everyone and namaste. I'm Bijal Damani, and today I'm going to share with you that how I have used Edmodo to scale up the social entrepreneurship project that I have been carrying out for the last 7 years. As Lucia has already mentioned, I would like to thank Edmodo for choosing me and flying me from the farthest. That is, I have flown all the way from India to be with you guys. Thank you so much, Edmodo, for that. Couple of facts about India. Geographically speaking, India is 1/4 of what the United States is. But at the same time, it is the second most populous country in the world. So one more fact that I would like to share about India is that it has the biggest democracy in the world, and it is the land of diversity. I come from the western part of India, from the state of Gujarat, and state of Gujarat is known for 2 Gs. One is Garba, which, as you can simply see, that this is the traditional folk dance, which the boys and girls dance for 9 nights in order to, that they devote these dances to the deity Ma Amba. And another G stands for Gandhi. Something that Mahatma Gandhi has said, be the change that you would like to see in the world. I think this is something that all of us teachers believe in and live day after day, year after year, making a difference, being the change that we want to see in the world. This is the school where I work. It is known as the Galaxy Education System. It's a private K-12 school, and it caters to 7,000 students and has a team of 800 motivated teachers. There are different boards available. It's offered by our school, so it's a big school. Who do I work for? I teach business to grade 11 and 12 students. These are the students who have taken up business as their main subject, and these are the students who are destined to be the professionals or the entrepreneurs in future. So I deal with 17 and 18 years old every day, and I have survived. Yeah. Even though I'm from India, I have my associations with some of the international educational institutions. I was part of, I was the Outstanding Educator of the Year award winner from AACD in the year 2009. And as Lucia has already mentioned, I was the ISTE winner, Outstanding Teacher Award winner for the year 2011. Apart from that, I was also the winner of HP EdTech Innovators Award, wherein I received the grant of $40,000, the technology grant of $40,000 for my classroom. I'm also involved with Microsoft PIL, and I'm also a Google certified teacher, and I'm also the BAMI Educator Choice Honorees of the year 2013. You must be wondering, how do I teach that I'm getting all these awards? The way I teach is that I go for the blended learning. There are a couple of videos that I use for delivering the content, but at the same time, I also put aside certain time for the face-to-face discussion with my students. The major chunk of the way I teach is the project-based learning. Every year, depending on the content, we come up with different interesting projects which are connected with the real life. Each of my students create the e-portfolio wherein they will be showcasing the final product of the projects, or they will be writing their reflections. So at the end of the year, they are evaluated on the basis of their electronic portfolio. So there are so many projects that we do with grade 11 and 12. But today I'm going to talk about one particular project, which is a social entrepreneurship project called Galaxy Bazaar. Project Galaxy Bazaar is based on the thinking that tell me and I forget, show me and I will remember, involve me and I will understand. These are the students of business, and I feel that simply teaching them the theory of business is not enough. We have to give them some kind of exposure of what the real life business is all about. So as a part of this, I made my students aware of the discrepancy that is prevailing in the society. On one hand, I can see my students in the morning getting out of the costliest of the car, and at the same time, children their age or probably younger than them are going off to work, the child labor, just in order to support their families. So that discrepancy is there. And while talking to the students, while discussing this issue, we had come to this conclusion that it is the lack of education which is creating this problem. As a class, we decided, why can't we do something about it? And from there, the project Galaxy Bazaar came into existence. Realizing this, we came up with the solution that the partnership is required in order to solve this problem. The partnership amongst all the stakeholders in the community. And that is something that will lead to the community welfare or a happier community. We could have done this by just raising the money with this the students who belong to the elite class. But instead of that, we thought of this project Galaxy Bazaar, in the year 2005, where the students have to set up a bazaar before Diwali. Diwali is one of the most popular and most awaited for festival in India. They have to set up a bazaar for 3 days prior to Diwali, selling the festival goodies. We buy the goods on credit from the manufacturers, local manufacturers and the wholesalers, and sell it at a reasonable price to the customers. We also try to give platform to the local handicraft wholesalers and the manufacturers. So Galaxy Bazaar is a win-win. It's a bazaar wherein everybody benefits. We also provide opportunity to the bigger companies to advertise their product. That way, we can collect money from their sponsorships. So every year, Galaxy Bazaar comes. The Galaxy Bazaar remains the same, but the students get to choose the name, right from Reloaded to Euphoria to Carnival. It's their choice. So every year, we have this bazaar. What are the basic objectives behind having the Galaxy Bazaar? The first objective, of course, being that I want my students to be financial savvy. I want them not only to know how to count the money, but to also know the worth of the money. Especially these kids, when they ask for $100 from their dad, they simply say, oh, it's just $100. But I think after Galaxy Bazaar, they know how $100 are earned. That was the main objective behind that. The another one is entrepreneurship skill. Not everybody can be entrepreneur. You have to take up the risk. There are certain qualities which you have to develop in order to become an entrepreneur. And that was one of the objectives, that I want my students to become the entrepreneurs. The third objective being the decision makers. It's very, very difficult for students to decide between their personal profits and the social good. So I wanted my students to undergo this process where they can actually debate over that if we sell these goods, we will make lots of profits. But is it good for the community? Should we do that or not? Believe me, for the last 7 years, we have been debating over whether to sell firecrackers or not. Firecrackers, even though it is one of the products where the margin of profit is the highest, but every year we debate over it because the child labor has been used for making the crackers and it pollutes the environment. And believe me, we have not sold firecrackers so far. So that is the decision which comes from the students. Of course, these are the two of the skills which I want my students to have, to collaborate. I don't want them to be there at their individual best. They have to be the team player. And of course, they have to look at the social angle. Whatever that they're doing, they have to look at their impact on society. And the last but not the least, I don't want my students to be the career seekers, not the job seekers. I want my students to be the job providers. They have to create the business which can employ people all around the world. And of course, there was this, the main objective that was closing the gap, the opportunity gap between the people between the students who have the resources and the people who don't, the students who don't. So basically, we are looking at bringing back the kids who have dropped out of the school system back into the school system by providing them the financial help, which will be raised through Galaxy Bazaar. This is a sneak view into what Galaxy Bazaar looks like. This is the logo which is designed by the students. Over here, every single thing is done by students. This is an introductory meeting where we just talk about what Galaxy Bazaar is, how we will go about. They decide on the venue. We rent out the venue. The risk is there. We pay such a lot of money renting out the venue. The venue is decorated, getting ready for the bazaar. This is Rangoli. Invitation cards are set out. The event is promoted. These are the posters which will be there all around the school. Every year we have our own theme. Students, have their own jingle. These are the pamphlets with the sponsorship at the back, distributed to all the students. Students out into the market, bringing the goods in, pricing them at home. This is the director of our school inaugurating the event. And 3 days pass like breeze, and that is why it is fast forwarded. Day 1, we are just getting ready. We are getting settled. And comes the evening. We are flooded by customers. And you can see the variety of goods. Everything under one roof. This is the sponsorship from Honda. The festive mood. Here comes the difficult part, accounting. We match the accounts, count the net profit, and the profit is donated either to educate the young girls or to provide free computers, installing free computers in some of the public schools. So that is what Galaxy Bazaar is all about. Now comes the role of Edmodo. When I started off in the year 2005, I had hardly 28 students working with me, and it was easy for me to work on face-to-face, meeting them on a daily basis because only 25 kids. But year 2012, I had 150 students opting out for Galaxy Bazaar. Now it becomes very difficult to get all the students in one room. I think my room looked almost like what you see on the screen. Yeah, I'm kind of absolutely have no idea what is happening. 150, 17 to 18 years old. My God, cannot control. Okay. So what I was looking for is that I was looking for a platform where I can, these are the two requirements. One was that I should be able to collaborate easily with these children. And the second one is I should be able to communicate easily with these children. Without the platform of Edmodo, believe me, I repeated the instructions 150 times. Yeah. And sometimes the uniformity of the information will not be maintained because, I move from class to class and, the way things are interpreted will be different and there will be chaos everywhere. So there were problems and I was looking for the platform where I can, something which can take care of these two skills, that is collaboration and communication. Of course, the solution was the social media. The social media could take care of many of my requirements, and for 2 years, I did use Facebook. But you know that very well that Facebook is never meant for the educational purposes, even though I created that group in Facebook. The problem is, the Facebook was frowned upon by the parents. In the school, we cannot open the Facebook, and if the parents see the children looking at the Facebook day in and day out, they are like, hey, what are you doing? We don't want to do this. You're on Facebook all the time. And Eureka, in the year 2010, I simply discovered there is a platform called Edmodo, problem solved. Edmodo is something that was taking care of all my requirements, right from sharing of the communication, collaborating, giving of the documents, every single thing that I wanted were taken care of by Edmodo. So what I did is that in Edmodo, I actually created the entire hierarchy for Galaxy Bazaar, wherein the 150 students were broken down into departments. A couple of people were given the marketing department, couple of them were kept for sponsorship, couple of them looking after the accounting and finance. I created the subgroup accordingly, and how it helped me is that it even controlled the clutter of the communication. Now, each and every kid does not have to receive each and every communication that I'm sending out. I will send out the finance-related communication only to the students who are in finance. The ones in marketing will receive only the marketing-related instructions. So it also saved lots of time and energy on the part of students and on part of the teacher to kind of divert or to kind of direct the communication to the right people. Another feature which really helped me is using the Edmodo planner. If you are using, they say that, if you are planning the event well, 50% of your job is done. And Edmodo Planner has helped me in that. I had put up the entire plan, entire Galaxy Bazaar plan, and that gave lots of clarity to the students as to what they are expected to do. Even in planning, there are specific tasks which are specific to that particular group that were highlighted. I used the different color code to simply highlight that this is the task. On this particular date, marketing team needs to do this. Finance team needs to do this. So there is lots of clarity so far as the instructions are concerned. We started using the video and documents for the meetings. It saved me from getting 150 students in one class and go for the meeting. Not only that, if there are certain students who have missed out on the meeting, they will not be clueless. Whatever that meeting is, we will take the video of it, put it on the Edmodo, and they can watch that and comment. If they have any questions, they can comment, to which the replies can be given. So it saved lots of time and energy on my part, that I don't have to repeat the same thing again and again, and the uniformity of the information remained the same. I also used the feature of reminders and alerts. As I said, that there are so many times, different departments have to be given certain reminders. So the function of alerts and the reminders really helped me a lot. This is the feature which I love the most in Edmodo, that is polls. Now, Galaxy Bazaar is the event by the students and for the students, and that is why the decision making has to be in the hands of the students. With 150 students, without Edmodo, it was not possible for me to go and ask each and every one, what do you think about this? What decision should we take? But now, with Edmodo, this is the simplest thing that I can do. Put up a poll. And students will simply exercise their right. They will vote. What do they want? So it has become more democratic. The event has become more student-centric with this polling option. Another hidden agenda behind using the polling is, as I said, that these are the 17 and 18 years old. They will be eligible for voting. In a year's time. In India, once you are 18, you can vote. So many a times, students in Edmodo, they may say, suppose, if I look at this particular example, they say, the decision is navy blue, but I wanted red. My simple question will be, did you vote? And they say, no, we didn't. So they will simply get to know the power that is vested in them, that you are given a chance to vote, exercise that. Otherwise, you do not have any right to complain or crib about it later. So it becomes more student-centric. Of course, using the reactions led to lots of informal communication. I might have put up something, and I will get to know the undercurrents, the informal undercurrents amongst the students from the kind of reactions that they are putting up, and it actually helped me it helped me to make changes faster. Suppose I'll give you a simple example. If I have put up something like that, submission of XYZ document on Monday. If I don't receive lots of excellent and outstanding kind of reactions, I get to know that they are preoccupied somewhere. I can extend the deadline. So reactions have really helped me. So far as the leaders, choosing the leaders is concerned, once again we use the polls wherein they can choose their own leaders. So I just created the hierarchy, and they are the ones who have chosen that this particular person will be the head of marketing, this particular person will be the head of finance, etc., etc. So over here, my job has changed from the decision maker to just a facilitator. I was the one who was providing the platform where students can go ahead and arrange for the entire event. Another thing which was very helpful was the collaboration. As you can simply see that they were used to go out into the market for sponsorship, and we had to see that there is no overlapping. The same team should not approach the same company twice. And because of that, we just got these updates in Edmodo, and that we can actually keep tabs over what is happening, how many posters are sold, how many banners, how many spaces are still left. So it actually helped us with so far as the management of the event is concerned. Okay, every year students also promote the event. And in promotion of the event, they also have the radio jingle. This is one of the promotion videos. The radio jingle is something that they have written and composed it themselves.
Galaxy Bazaar Euphoria, trusted to deliver excellence.
So, before we arrived at this final version, there were a couple of versions. They will make one particular jingle, put it on Edmodo, get the views from other students, and that is how they arrived at this final jingle. It actually helped me avoid the duplicity of work a lot. I also used Google Forms. So far as the product choices were concerned, what I was used to do is I will put up the Google form on Edmodo, and at the same time, I will share that Excel sheet where all the information is being collected on Edmodo. So the students, before signing up for something, they can check out whether whatever that they are signing up for, has it been taken up already by somebody else. So it actually helped me avoid lots of duplicacy of work. Sponsorship collaboration, we have already said that they can work with, each team was working with, whenever they get the sponsorship, they update it on the Edmodo, and people will get to know that what is the score. This is one very powerful tool once again. Every year in Galaxy Bazaar, the format of Galaxy Bazaar is such that we are stepping out of the traditional classrooms. Over here, students are learning, but they are not learning sitting at the desk in the four walls of the classroom. So many a times, parents have this concern that my son or my daughter is out there in the market all day long. I don't know what they're doing. So what we are used to have is every year I will be explaining it to individual parents that this is what we are doing, and the only thing that was missing was the communication with the parents. But with Edmodo, even that was taken care of. We created the parents' IDs. Parents were part of the group, and now parents will know every single thing that is happening. So if the child is going to be out there late, they will know why and where. So, this really helped. It converted. Now the parents were partners instead of just looking at the final product. Another aspect of Edmodo which really helped me was badges. Badges is something loved by everybody. I think even teachers love badges. Yeah. So what I did was I created the specific department-related badges. Instead of just saying outstanding or good or great work, what I did was that something like marketing maverick or a genius accountant. So I just created the badges which were specific to that particular department, and I didn't make those badges easily available. You have to earn them. So it kind of motivated students that okay, if I do this, I will be eligible for the badge. Once again came the last part of Galaxy Bazaar, wherein the accounting was done. This is the most difficult part of the entire process. We used Google Docs, wherein each team prepared their accounts using the Excel file. One thing good about this is that we roped in the ex-students, the students who have already graduated from the school and the ones who are already learning to become the chartered accountants. We roped them in, and all the teams have to scan their actual accounts and their final balance sheet on Edmodo, and it will be audited by the ex-students. So that way, the authentication, they need to have the signature from an expert to simply arrive at the net profit. The assignment for this particular project, we do not judge the students or the team by how much they have earned. So we do not focus on what was your turnover or what was the revenue or how much of sponsorship did you get. So the focus was not on earning. The focus was on learning. So at the end of this entire event, what students do is they simply make a list of things that they have learned. And they list out every single thing. It can be something like, I learned to deal with the difficult customers. I learned to go into the areas of my city which I have never been to. It could be anything. It could be communication, it could be accounting, it could be anything. So they just list it out that what their learnings are, and they just put it up. That reflective essay goes into their student portfolio. Now, when it comes to profit figures, I'm so glad that in the year 2005, when we started off with 28 students, and our profit figure was 8,000 Indian rupees, so estimated $160. We started on that scale. But as I said, as the years progressed, last 2 years, in the 6th year, that is year 2011, our profit figure reached to, hold your breath, 400,000 Indian rupees. That is $8,000. And the year 7, that is year 2012, 680,000 Indian rupees, $13,600. So I think we are doing pretty well. We started on a very small scale. I would like to draw this parallels that I think Edmodo started in the year 2008. We started almost in year 2005, 2007. The startups are working well, I guess. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Now we don't stop at just donating the profits. The students also take part. Students are involved in getting the children into the school system, and they spend certain community hours working with these children. So, they go to their homes, classes, they just teach them sometimes. And of course, the donation takes place. So that's it. That's it about Galaxy Bazaar. And some of the tips I would like to give to the teachers, those who are using PBL, is always use small groups. It really helps breaking down the big project into smaller chunks. Plan well with Edmodo Planner. Edmodo Planner is a very, very powerful tool. Use it well. Use the personalized badges as motivators. Make parents your partners in the project. Believe me, they have a lot to share. Use polls for student-centric decisions. Let the students take charge of the decisions that they have to take. You don't take decisions for them. Let them decide. Reflection as an assignment. Showcase the work in progress. Like from time to time, as I said, we were used to showcase the work in progress, version 1 of the jingle. Put it up and showcase. Let people simply review what they think about it. Take clues from the reactions. I think most of the times reactions are the most powerful tools. We simply get to know what students mean. Yeah, don't ignore it. Use them. Use library for supplementary scaffolding material. The job of the teacher is to see to it that the moment whenever you are mingling with the students and you feel that there is something missing, just put that document up in the library and let students, have access to that particular material. And encourage direct as well as group messages. Many a times, some students are not able to discuss in the group setting. You can also encourage the direct messages from them. So this is all. Thank you very much. My group code is FJ4FR4. And if you want to know about Galaxy Bazaar, you can log on to galaxybazaar.in, www.galaxybazaar.in, wherein the website of 3 or 4 last Galaxy Bazaars is available. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you, Bijal. That was very, very cool. Lots of excitement on Twitter around the neat things that you're doing with Edmodo. So we have some time for Q&A. So if anyone here in the audience has questions, just raise your hand and I'll make it over there. But we also have some from the live feed. So I'll go ahead and ask a few that came in. This one came from the KWAC group in Ventura, California. They were wondering, what is your daily class schedule and how long are the students working on the project?
Okay. For any kind of project-based learning, the flexibility of timetable is very, very important. And I'm glad that my school is accommodating that. So I work with the students on Galaxy Bazaar projects. We allocate one class, common class, across all the 4 sections. And after that, the students stay back after the school hours. So we spend almost 3 hours on a daily basis.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Cool. Let's see. Someone said, "Nice job. We did a similar project for electronic waste recycling. We didn't use Edmodo to drive the deadlines, but you've inspired me to make sure that we use it this year. Did you do the whole schedule in Planner, or as you went along? Did you use the Edmodo Planner?"
No, I started my project with my planning intact. So I planned it first, and then accordingly we simply followed it. The execution was based on the planning. Okay. Yeah. And I used Edmodo Planner throughout. Yeah.
Cool. Someone was wondering about, did you have any access to industry experts apart from your sponsors?
Okay. Some of the parents themselves are the business people, they are the industrialists, and as I said that when we have parents as partners, it's not only, it helped me to communicate with them, not only that, they are the ones who have been guiding us as to where to go and what kind of sponsors to approach. So it was a kind of two-way communication, as a parent, as an industrialist, as a businessman.
Yeah, and I think that answers, there was another question about whether or not parents get upset about the corporate sponsorship aspect of the project, but it sounds like they're very much involved.
Yep.
And what are some of the challenges that you faced using Edmodo as such a large project, if any?
In fact, Edmodo has provided the solution to the problems that I was facing. So, and the way the hierarchies have been set, no problems at all.
And how do you group the students, considering different levels of students?
Basically, once again, while grouping the students, I keep in mind what they are good at. Of course, I do not distribute them randomly, but there are a couple of students who are good at, let's say, marketing skills. So they are given a choice that which group they would like to join in. Okay. So there are a couple of students who would opt for finance. There are a couple of students who will go for marketing, etc., etc. So I just define the roles that if you are part of marketing, this is what you have to do. If you are part of sponsorship, this is the work which you'll have to carry out. And they can choose, pick and choose whichever role that they would like to have.
Yeah, very evident. The promotion video you showed was very, very, very cool. Someone was wondering about what you used to record the video.
Okay. We actually used, for making of videos and recording the audio, we used Sony Vegas. We have been using Sony Vegas for audio and video. This year I'm just thinking that even for video, we will be going online. We will be using WeVideo for online editing. That's my next step. Yep.
And how do you evaluate your students' portfolios? Do you set up the portfolios for your students, or do your students set them up?
No, students set them up. So at the beginning of every year, the very first thing that we do is I teach them how to create their electronic portfolio in using the Google Sites. So what I do is each individual makes their own e-portfolio, and these e-portfolios are connected to my e-classroom. So I have access to each e-portfolio with the click of a mouse. So, I evaluate them 3 times in a year, and students are free to make changes in their portfolio after they have been evaluated once. So it's kind of, they can work on their reflections throughout the year.
Yeah. We have another person who is very interested in how you organize such a large bazaar, if you have any tips or whatnot.
As I said, keep all the stakeholders with you. Ask students what they want. Get to know what that they will work for. Take parents with you. And of course, if you're doing this for a good reason, I think the community will support as well.
This is a good question about how do you build a strong, disciplined environment in a school? Does it, Does it need to have a necessary discipline committee team?
Strangely enough, I never had any discipline team. I believe that when students are doing what they love, you don't need discipline committees.
Right.
So no discipline committees so far. Yeah.
Makes sense. Any questions from? We have one back here. I'll start here since you're closer.
Okay. Do you have any grading system for this at all, just in general?
Okay. As I said that this is part of their e-portfolio, and the e-portfolio has many activities which they have done across the year. So this is just like, I set aside 30% of their total for e-portfolio, in which probably out of 10 activities, Galaxy Bazaar is one of them. So.
And one more back here.
You mentioned keeping, by the way, great presentation, thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned keeping parents involved in how they could see what was happening on Edmodo. Do you have them set up as a student or as a parent? Because parents seem to have limited access to what they can see.
For a couple of parents, the parents representatives, I have given them the student access. Yeah, so it that way I can keep them in the loop so far as all the communications are concerned. And there are a couple of parents who are not very tech savvy, like you, who are not accessing Edmodo every day. So for them, I had created the parent account.
There's another question about technology access at your school. Is it a one-to-one, or how do students access computers?
Okay, students bring in their own laptops. We do not have any labs or anything, but students bring their own laptops, and our school has a Wi-Fi connection. So that's not a problem. We don't have a problem of resources.